All right, guys, I know I said I did the last show of the year yesterday, but you just have to make an exception for a special guest. And it does not get any more special than a good friend of the program, one of the most exciting guys to do it in the UFC. With a huge year coming up in 2025, the one and only Dan Hangman Hooker. Join me here from...
Too kind. Too kind, my friend.
Not kind enough, my friend. You just finished the sparring session. Jump on with me right before Christmas. How lucky am I?
Oh, shucks.
Hey, speaking of sparring, how's life been since you dropped ISO Speed in that weird YouTube sparring session? You hit him with a perfect line, say less. I feel like that's now part of pop culture, thanks to you.
I didn't realize how much I said it until like they Oscar chucked that video up, and then I was like just living my like the amount of times I used it as like an innocuous threat, like I'll be having an argument with the missus, and I'm like, say less, say less. So it means you're about to get, you know what I mean?
It's a kind direction away from the action. Hey, by the way, what did you think of him? Like that visit, the video, the actual spar. In the end, what was he like behind the scenes? Is he cool? And also in the ring, you took it easy on him, right? You went for the body, slowly sort of.
Oh, he's a crazy kid. Like he's he's a crazy kid. I can see why he's as successful as he is, because he's just a million miles an hour. Like, bro, what he did that day was wild. Like, he was at the Breakers basketball team. Like, then he was at like our city's football team. Then he came to City Kickboxing, and then he went straight to the Warriors rugby league team. And he's like asking them, who I want to play rugby. Like, let's run it straight. Like, he just viral clips all day. Like, I can see why the amount of energy that he goes through is wild. I tip my hat to that kid.
I think you're pretty kind to him though, because you go in the wrong gym, you say that to the wrong person. They're not taking them out through body shots, right? Like you've been in the gym where you've seen people do that and they've been taken out. I've seen it myself. Did you make a conscious decision? Hey, the kid's just trying to make a video here. Let's go easy on him.
That's exactly what he wanted. Like, he's going out there just making viral clips all day. Like that was like he got to the gym and I wasn't even gonna do it. Like, Navajo is like the only one of the fighters that does streaming as well, so I was kind of gonna leave it to him. And then I like tried to throw him in there with one of the, like, a couple of first it was an amateur boxer I tried to throw him in there with. Then I tried to throw him in with one of our amateur MMA fighters. Like, yeah, I had no interest in sparring him or whatever, but it's what he wanted. So
what did he say to you afterwards when the cameras weren't rolling? Did he thank you? Did he say anything?
Nah, fuck off. He's like a competitive ass kid. Like, he was pissed. Like, he's pissed. Like, genuinely pissed.
Dude, he was lucky. He didn't know how lucky he got. You could have just taken his head off if you wanted to.
Oh, you're not gonna do that. Like, to like a certain extent, you know what I mean? To a certain extent, I feel like obliged to let someone know, like, this is the level here. But yeah, oh mate, the amount of idiots that I've had like messaging me since that, being like, I want to spy you. And you're just like, fuck, like, that's kind of it. It's like yeah, that's like, I've beaten up a few influences because you're kind of like it does not necessarily like piss you off a bit, but you're like, you can't just walk in the gym as like a normal person and be like, I want to spar Israel Adesanya. You know what I mean? Like, you have to put in, like, there's guys that have been training for like 5 years before they get a chance to kind of compete, to test themselves against one of these guys. And then these influencers just walk in and they just put their gloves on and they think that they can get in there and have a go. It's just like, yeah, you do take like a little bit of offense by it. Like, do you know how much work that an average person has to do to be able to get in the ring and sharpen your skills against one of like a high level fighter? It's yeah. So then I'm just punch him in the guts and be like, you don't fucking deserve it.
But dude, at least you punched him in the guts. Anyway, you're a good man, Dan Hooker. And by the way, it's been a crazy year, right? You've had a great year. How do you look back on this year now that we're coming to the end of it, especially compared to some of the other great years you've had in the UFC, right? Because you've had some pretty awesome years, but I feel like this has really been one of those highlight years for you.
Yeah. Like
Can you look back on it at all? Like when New
I
Year's
guess like
comes,
it's
do you
just
have a drink?
old enough and experienced enough to just unapologetically start just being myself. I think was what this year was about, and yeah, I don't know. Like I can only like speak from my perspective, but yeah, like the I don't know, the fans and everyone watching, like I don't know, they must seem to like it, I guess, because you're just yeah.
Yeah, man, we love it, dude. We love it. And by the way, on Twitter, someone
What about
someone
them?
tweeted Justin Gaethje.
I'm like,
The
oh
only
shit.
one thing for Christmas, Merry
I'm
Christmas, you
like,
filthy animal. Almost Dan Hooker level response there. You know, you're very poetic when you respond. That was perfect there.
filthy animals.
What did you think when you saw that from Gaethje?
Uh,
I mean, I don't know what you can or can't say, but
Merry
were you
Christmas,
excited that
you.
things are trending in the right direction at least?
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Yeah, like we'll have to wait till it gets like a little bit closer. You know what I mean? You know how these things work. Fights don't really get that made that far out.
Hmm. But it's cool though
You know,
because at least there's someone there that's not trying to like. At least you know. All right, this is a cool fight, and at least I know Justin also appreciates a fight with me. You know, because we've seen people not want to fight you in the past and kind of get out of negotiations, but it looks like he's keen on it, right? That's a good sign.
yeah. Oh, bro, I'll fight anyone. Yeah, ranked above me. That's definitely a fight that. Bro, you can't tell me that the fans don't want to see that shit. Like, and and it makes sense now. It makes sense for everyone involved. But yeah, we'll just have to wait till it gets like a little bit closer till like before the UFC just don't match fights that far out. Like you know how the sport works, things can happen pretty drastically. So yeah, we'll just have to wait until next year before this kind of gets locked in or squared away.
Yeah, people don't realize this, but the UFC literally like put fights together last second, and sometimes they announce fights before they even get put together, like the Paulo Costa Robert Whitaker fight that just never happened, but they actually announced through their channels. So this is how it works. But things are trending in the positive direction. Okay, so let me ask you this: your division going through a bit of a shakeup. What have you made of this whole Ilia Topuria wanting to move up and fight Charles Oliveira in May in hopes of getting a title shot business? Because you yourself, you beat Justin Gaethje in March. I mean, there's the case for the next title shot right there. What was your reaction in Ilya trying to sort of just fight Charles in the division to try and get, I guess, the
Just
shot quicker?
it's like classic shit. Just classic. He's just like it's pretty evident that he's just working off McGregor's playbook, and like line one of McGregor's playbook is just like keep your name in headlines, and so like that's all that I kind of see from it is Topuria keeping his name in headlines. Like the guy doesn't fight that often. I can't see him. I think I think he just fights Volk sometime next year, March, April. Like.
He doesn't want to fight Volk. He said he doesn't want to. It was an interesting
Bro,
one.
well then don't get in the fucking cage with him and agree to fight him then, dickhead. That doesn't.
Well, did you see? Like, all
you
respect to him
can't
and his
you can't
team.
like that's you you let him get in the cage. You had a face off with him, and you said you'd fight him. Like that's bro, man to man. That's that's that. Like you've agreed. You already agreed to a fight. Like how are you gonna back out of it now?
The only thing that also that doesn't make sense is, so his coach told me, look, we're gonna move up to lightweight. He can't make featherweight. We don't want to defend the belt. But then Topuria came out and said, I'm going up to 155, but I'm not vacating the belt. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Well, so I don't understand what you're saying here. So you're going to keep the belt, but fight another, like, you know what I mean? Like, none of this is making any sense whatsoever.
None of it makes sense because it's not actually a real plan.
All right. So you believe he'll, I feel like he doesn't want to fight. I reckon he doesn't want to fight Volk. And like, there's some real killers in that. Like, not that he's afraid of him, but I reckon he likes this idea of 155.
Yeah, like, you shouldn't have agreed to another fight him.
You reckon
like,
he could fight?
You should have just said no at the time. You can't agree. That's like the old he's taken his glove off and he's slapped her in his face now. You've been challenged and you agree, you accepted.
Yeah, man.
I don't know you could agree to a fight man to man, face to face, and then later be like, nah, actually changed my mind, Cobb. It's Volk versus Ilia. That's the next fight.
Come on.
Because Dan Hooker said so.
That's right. And that's the bottom line?
And that's the bottom line.
I mean, we're looking for a beer sponsor here, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, what
Dan Hooker said
in
so.
all honesty, are they taking the piss? Like, obviously, I like punch people in the face. Tick. I fight in the UFC. I'm a degenerate gambler. Tick. Yes, I have a gambling sponsor.
But at least you have a gambling sponsor because you're a degenerate gambler. You know, at least that matches up.
The man thinks some serious beer. The man takes his drinking very seriously. No beer sponsor. But it's like, what are they doing? How many beers are there in the world? No one goes, hey, Dan Hooker, we'll send you a case, mate.
I can't believe you don't have your own beer by now. That's what I can't believe. Engage, maybe with a beer collab, a Dan Hooker one. Say less beer. Where is that? Beer.
I don't think
scratch beer.
I don't
know.
I don't think promoting my own beer company would do great for my fighting career. But
hey, speaking of somebody else who promotes their own beer company, what do you reckon of old Conor McGregor wanting to fight Logan Paul? What the hell's going on here with this boxing match?
Fuck it, that makes sense.
Makes sense? What do you mean?
Yeah, fuck it. Like,
why?
Because he get a shit ton of money. Logan's crap. Like Jake can fight. Jake's got some hands, but Logan sucks. Yeah, that makes sense. Gets some money. Are the UFC gonna let him out of his contract? No. Could the bloody Sheik of Arabia give them $100 million? Yeah, I could see it. I don't know. Over my pay grade. If we're boiling down to, if we're really boiling it down, over my pay grade.
I just can't believe it because he said he was going to fight you next at BKFC. Are you trying to tell me that Conor McGregor is not a man of his word? Are you trying to tell me that? What did you think Michael Chandler's reaction was when he saw that?
I just said, McGregor playbook, line 1, stay in the headlines. I just said that. I just said that Ilia copies his playbook, and that's line 1 of his playbook.
God damn. What do you reckon Michael Chandler's reaction was when he saw that Logan Paul boxing match being confirmed?
Oh, like he's gonna fight him anyway, bro. You lost a couple fights now. Coolest thing he ever did was knock me out on holiday.
Yeah, people were saying they wanted to see that rematch, but I don't know. I like this guy, Justin.
But what do I get out of it? Like, I already did the guy a favor I did the guy a favor 5 years ago, and he's not bought me a beer since. And so I don't.
What?
Do I really feel like buy? Do I look? Do I fool me once? Can't get fooled again. I do your I do you a solid. 5 years passes by. You don't buy me a single beer, and then I'm supposed to do you another solid. I'm supposed to do you another favor with no beers coming my way. Maybe if he had bought me a beer, I'd be more inclined. But nah, just I don't get anything out of it. And you like look at the amount of times I have my ass kicked. I'm gonna go back and get every single one of those back. I'll be here for. I'll be here. I'll be treading. I'll be going backwards for bloody ever, bro. Like, I think the coolest thing you could do is beat the guy that kicked all their asses. You know.
I think so too, man. Well, I can't believe he hasn't sent over some beer to the man.
That'd be
though.
like
Come
what
on.
I want to fight. Like, didn't Justin Gaethje knocked out Poirier, and then did he knocked out Chandler as well? He lost to Gaethje.
Yeah, he lost decision unanimous. UFC 268.
Yeah, well then
2021.
why wouldn't I want to beat Justin Gaethje then? Because he's beaten both Chandler and Poirier. So then if I beat Justin Gaethje, then I get both of those losses back. MMA math. I'm MMA mathing this. I'm MMA mathing this right now. And go
How do you
back and
like
fight
them
Chandler.
apples?
The
How do you
math
like
ain't
them
math.
apples?
The math
Yeah.
ain't math. But if I beat Justin Gaethje, then the math is mathing.
Hey, listen, you're Matt Damon. How do you like them apples? Just shove it on the screen. MMA math. All right, brother. As we wrap up, give me the name. What are we looking at for the new name? The new baby name. What are we looking at here? Do we have a list? Do we have a short list?
Well, it's been picked.
Dennis? Dennis is a beautiful name.
It's been picked for a girl.
You know,
Denita?
you gotta beat the expectations.
Then we can go Denita.
Denita? It's
Denita.
Denita. What are we thinking? Can you reveal it?
I don't know if we can. I know it. Well, I know what it is.
What would
like
you get in
telling
more
people.
trouble from? Revealing your fight news or revealing the baby name? What do you think you'd cop more for?
I'm far more scared of my wife than I am of. Yeah.
All right. Dan Hooker, congratulations.
I'm not. Yeah, more scared of my wife than the UFC. So.
Shout out to Izzy.
Shout out.
I'm going to New Zealand. Give me a pie shop to visit.
Oh, well, when are you coming?
Going to be there on Sunday. Greymouth. Partners from there. It's a great place.
Oh, whoa, Greymouth.
Advice?
Nah, I don't think I've ever been.
It's a great place, man. All right, guys. Dan Hooker, 2025. We're coming for that belt. Make sure to follow the man. And just quickly, is the Cameo open over Christmas or not? Where are we at?
Nah, I'm gonna clear this backlog and then I'm signing out.
You get people like to get you to give people shit, right? That's kind of like.
Oh, bro, you get some like. That's my funnest thing. That's like my ad for it. Is that I'm the Ron Burgundy of Cameo, bro. Like if you whatever comes across my screen, I'm saying. Like, I will get on there and say anyway. Hey, Pete. Yeah, Dave says you're an asshole, you're shit root, and Mrs. hates you. Like some of them are terrible. I love it.
Shit root,
It's
love
the
it.
funnest thing. Like get paid to just rip your mates. Just get paid to rip random strangers.
Oh my God, love it, brother, love it. All right, man, congratulations on a great year and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, Dan.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Denita.
Denita.
Keep it in
Denita
mind.